People should learn how to communicate, period. Last month, I was at my hometown. So I spent some hours with my mom and we were talking about things, and she was sharing me with her problems at home. For example, she was sharing problems about her girlfriends or her daughter of her husband, that actually about two daughters of her husband, my stepsisters, that they have lack of communication, that they feel that there's like cold situation between them. And she's like, you are so different because, like, yeah, I'm very spiritual and I'm working on myself, so that's why if I know that I have some issues with my parents, with my family, with whoever, I'm because I've been in therapy, I'm gonna go through it, I'm gonna go inside the problem and I'm gonna start talking, start discussing. And she was sharing with me, she's like, yeah, this is how they act, I know she was posting this, she meant it about us, like blah blah blah, why did she do this, we did so much for her, blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is lack of communication. I'm like, you have to talk. And she's like, yeah, but every time I tell my husband that I'm gonna tell her. But also my mom, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell her this time. I'm telling him, I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna tell her. But she was saying it with such a like anger, like I'm gonna tell her. I'm like, this is not the point. The point should be that you love each other and there is a miscommunication. There is always miscommunication. Trust me. Like if two people meet and two people gonna be vulnerable and they're gonna speak from their heart and they're gonna open up and they're gonna share with each other, oh, this is what hurt me, this is what hurt me, trust me, it will be the best conversation in their lives. And I told her, I'm like, you know what, issue is that you don't communicate, guys. You don't communicate on soul level. And I'm like, I know you're not used to this. She's like, how I'm gonna do this, I never did this, blah blah, I never did this in my life. I'm like, that's the thing, if you wanna change your life, you have to start to make changes in your life. You have to change something, right? You have to break the pattern. You have to do something different. If you want different future, you have to do different things right now. Because if you're gonna keep doing the same things that you used to do, you're gonna keep um, getting the same solutions and the same life, right? So I'm like, trust me, it is the hardest thing for me too, and maybe for everyone. I actually think that this is the hardest thing for the whole humanity. It's the simplest thing, just to talk, and the hardest at the same time. It's the thing that costs nothing, but it's so important. It's so important if everyone would be just honest and vulnerable and say just like what they really think without like trying to point and hurt other person. Our life would be so different, trust me. So I told her, I'm like, how about you just start saying, like, for example, if you don't like something, you can say, you know what, I'm sorry, but like I really disagree and I don't like it. Or why did you act this way? Why didn't you invite us to your new apartment? I'm really like, it does hurt me. It does hurt us. I really love you and I would love to know. And I'm like, just try it. And I was telling her that it is the hardest thing, but there's nothing more beautiful than this thing. And she's like, yeah, how do I do this? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, you are good at this. Maybe you can talk for us. I'm like, no, you have to talk. I'm like, I'm good with my stepsister. I'm like, we have, if I have an issue and if I think our relationship is not good, I'm going to talk about it. And if I want my relationship to change. So I told her, I'm like, just start doing it step by step, like little bit. Or like she has, for example, like she's like, yeah, I used to have this one girlfriend and I was always here for her. And if she needed something, she would call me, we would talk, blah, blah, blah. But then she asked me to borrow her money for 3 weeks. And she's like, it's been 2 months and she's not talking to me, blah, blah, blah. I didn't hear from her. She's like, I'm so disappointed because she's like, I don't care about this money so much. But she's like, is it what did that amount of money worth our friendship? And I'm like, just ask her. Usually, my opinion to people, my suggestion to people is what they tell you, for example, behind their back. So for example, my mom has issue with her girlfriend, and she's telling me behind her girlfriend back, she's like, my question is, uh were we actually friends? Why she's not even calling me? Why she cannot ask me, like, please, I don't have this money right now, can you give me a couple more months? Or like, I'm asking, is it like, like, she's asking me all these questions. I'm like, I'm suggesting you to ask her exact these questions that you're asking me. She's like, oh, how am I gonna do this? I'm like, this is the point. This is the point. Exactly what you telling behind the person's back. This is exactly the words you should tell to the person's face. This is the solution. Trust me. And I know it can be hard, and I know it can be like frustrating and everything, but like, if you try one time, I'm like, okay, if you do this, for example, what are you gonna lose? For example, if she tells you, you know what, fuck you, blah blah blah, then great. It's gonna cut your time, and you're gonna know right away that she's not your friend. She never was your friend. She just wanted to use you. So now you're not gonna leave keep living and thinking, because what she's telling me, she's like, but I'm thinking about this, like, I'm thinking about, oh, I want to ask her, oh, I'm wondering. So it's bothering her life, it's not, this thought is not allowing her to live her life. And only because my mom is such a nice person, she's like, but I can't ask. I'm like, why can't you? It's not like bad things. Also, when I'm saying that you have to talk to person, it's not like, as my mom used to say, I'm gonna talk to her. Not with that attitude. Shouldn't be like that. Talking to person, it should be like, I'm gonna talk to person. Maybe this person needs my time right now. Maybe he needs like some, I don't know, like, help. Who knows? We never know what that person is going through. And sometimes actually we start to fight, and and the person starts crying, like, you know what, actually I'm going through, I'm actually in depression, I'm actually exhausted, I actually lost this, that. You're like, wow, why didn't you tell me? Because we are not used to talking to each other, talking from soul to soul. We're all different. It's always going to be miscommunication. So if we just start, and she actually tried, and today she called me and she thanked me. For example, she's like, yeah, she and her husband, they came to us a couple days ago, and she told us a story that the last weekend they went with tents, like, for a couple days somewhere to the lake. And she's like, who went? It was her sister, their mom, she's like, and we were excluded. And I'm like thinking, and she's like, after this, she went home, and she's like, me and my husband were sitting and thinking, and my husband say, I guess we are excluded from the family. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, we both like thinking why, blah, blah. And she's like, you know what, I decided to listen to you. And I texted her, and I asked her, why didn't you invite us? And she replied, and she's like, you know what, I wanted to, but my sister organized it. And I guess my sister has issues with dad right now, and she's in kind of war, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, I would love to go with you, but like, and and my mom is like, and I'm asking my mom, I'm like, do you feel better after this? She's like, so much better, so much relief. She's like, even though like they still were not invited, and they kind of like understood that someone is hating on them, it's such a relief when you ask person normally and you get the answer. Also, the person is gonna reply you something, especially if you have some good relationship or whatever, and you understand the next step or something. And she's like, yeah, I would think about this, I would dream about this, I would think about this at night, in the morning, but she's like, now I understand. So I'm like, and she thanked me a lot, and I'm like, imagine for 50 years you lived without this knowledge and without this thing, but now it's going to be so much easier. The life is going to be so much better. And also what I want to say also, everything we are keeping inside and everything that we don't tell to people, then it can cause us some serious health issues. It's all connected, our mind, our body. So think about this like that, that the more we keep inside, the more outside problems and sickness and illness we can get, which we don't need. So please, I'm begging everyone, let's open our hearts and let's start be vulnerable. I'm gonna learn this word one day. People, because this is what we need. We all good people. I believe that everyone is good. It's just miscommunication.